seconds.
Sports Nation. Unleash the champion within.
Yeah. Well, we're back again. It's your boy Low, and you are listening to Low on the Coach Low Show. I changed up a little bit. Nah, baby, it's Sports Club Florida, and we're back again. Another week. It's your boy Coach Low for Life, a.k.a. the Camp King. And remember, it's truly a mindset of greatness, a commitment of greatness, a sacrifice of greatness, and a passion of greatness. Have all for every day. Take your game to another level. Make somebody say, wow, that boy is good. Make someone recognize what you're doing in the room, because you're definitely in the building. Motivation quote I'm throwing out today. I got to throw a little twist today because you are in the film room. Get your eyes checked. So when you're in the film room, make sure you get your eyes checked. Because if you don't know what you're looking at, then you're wasting your time. You might need some glasses. You might need some bifocals. But if you focus in and lock in and get your vision on the right thing in life, your journey will be that much easier. And that's why we always in the film room trying to find the best talent that we can talk about, the best success stories that we can talk about, the ones that went through the valley and came through the light, the one that went through the grind, the one that went through the tough time and all the way through the easy time, back to the tough time, back to the easy time. So that's a journey for everyone. And we always make sure we bring that journey to you right here in the film room, Sports Club for the Loud, with your boy, the Coach Low for Life, a.k.a. the Camp King. So get your eye checked. It's that simple. And that's why I always make sure when I'm here live, we're in the room with my boy, Tremaine Wright, Mr. Right Choice. Tremaine, what's going on?
Man, what's going on, Coach Low? Man, we back at it again. Another Monday, another night in the film room. As you know, the season changed, the time has changed. But what thing haven't changed is another successful player going to be coming on here today, talking about his journey. One of the young guys that has been training with you and also went to school with your son. So I'm very interested to listen to his story and hoping people listen to it and be impactful. That he will be to a lot of people that's listening to this on his different journey. So, man, let's talk a little bit about this, Coach Low, and talk a bit about what just went on this past weekend here in our Orlando.
Well, listen, there's a lot of things that shocked me, but some of them shocked me in a positive way. You never know when you're trying different things who's going to support you. And right now in Central Florida, there was an event that went on. We talked about last week with TJ McCoy and then Coach Adam Shooter. They put it on for the city. They were able to get Morgan & Morgan, D1 athlete, sales speed, and coaches from all over the Central Florida support what they're doing. Some of the top trainers, former Florida Gators player, former NFL player, all came together to put on for the city for the athletes. And it's what it called free scholarship, $35. It's a slow start. Sometimes you got to put a value to your service. You can't just give it out for free. People don't want free. They want a value. They want to know it means something. I put my money involved. Well, guess what? It worked. It happened. People got behind it. We supported it right here in the film room, Sports Club Florida. We supported the real McCoy and Adam Shooter Elite Showcase. And guess what? 250 athletes pulled up helmets and shoulder pads and performed. I'm talking about top athletes like AJ Chung, Fenway Cochran, guys who LPU, UAA, YAA, Under Armour, all camp team, MVP, came out and performed right there at the fairground, right there. I mean, it blows my mind that when you start seeing 3 stars, the guy got powerful 4 offers start coming to camps and that you
Hey,
normally wouldn't even come to. That's huge.
now, well, one thing is I love this that I liked was he had 200 kids. Me and you both know that it's definitely tough to get 200 kids to go to a camp. Not to mention with shoulder pads and helmet. That goes to show to let you know that people respect what you're doing in your city. That people came out and support this camp on a Sunday. 200 kids is a lot of kids. I've been seeing all the posts today from Chris Hayes from the Orlando Sentinel. A lot of different kids getting exposure that I seen. MVP and everything that I saw. So I think that's really good, and I hope it opened up a lot of eyes to people that have not been going to camps to go into credible camps so they can get more exposure. And while I'm on this subject exposure, I want you guys to watch out for me and Coach Lowe. We got a lot of good things that's coming on with Sports Club Florida. We got a new platform that we're going to be rolling out pretty soon that nobody's really doing. And me and Coach Lowe going to be going around these different schools during springtime, talking to the coaches, looking at who's the best players, who's the dogs on each team, so we can highlight them, give them more exposure, and also we're probably going to do some call-ins on some of these kids for our Monday call. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing some sideline stuff at some of these schools coming up next month because the next month's the time for all spring is being hit, and we're going to be hit some of those schools in the afternoon. So stay tuned for me and Coach Lowe to do a little spring tour for us. We're not going to be doing our media day. We're going to push that back, but we're going to continue our sports club journey. But we're going to hit some of these high schools and whatnot, and let you guys see what we're going to be doing for the fall. So enough being said about that, man. Today's not all about. We want to do a small little recap. Talk about who's going to be coming up here next, Coach Lowe.
Well, I mean, I'm just excited to even have him come on the show. I mean, I just go back to what we're talking about with the event stuff that's going on, and I did want to throw a quick shout out to Aaron Jones, Trencham Academy, and Chad Matterby, CM 55. They put on a great 5v5 Trenchman tournament this weekend. Also, they probably had guys out there with a total maybe 115 Power Four offers on one field at one time at TFA performing also. So we know where the space is at. We know what it takes. But so if your athlete is at home and not at one of these events or at one of these camps or a tournament competing, getting exposure along with 3 and 4 star players or even 2 star, trying to earn their right, then you want to go through a tough recruiting process. Your recruiting process is going to be tough if your son did not do anything this weekend. If he was not at a camp right in Central Florida that was 35, 40 bucks or even scholarship, then y'all don't have the same expectation. You and your son don't have the same expectation at all. So it's a difference. It's a process. It's a journey. And my special guest coming on right now had an opportunity to training him right and late in his career, an opportunity to seeing why he was on the path and the journey that he's still on at this very moment. I remember him back when he was at Oak Ridge High School. I'm gonna say that one more time. Oak Ridge High School. Stayed at Oak Ridge, right? Didn't transfer out, didn't go nowhere else. Stuck it all he is right there, Oak Ridge High School. One of the first guys to ever come out of Oak Ridge High School as a top player and had offers from major programs. I'm talking about Michigan, offer from Michigan, LSU, Florida Gators, Notre Dame, had offer from every last one of them schools. I mean, 30 plus offers easily. And easy enough said he chose a school that he can come out with a great degree, not a 4-year degree or 40-year degree. One of probably the first athlete to ever come out of Oak Ridge to sign, right back in them days, full scholarship, Power 5, Notre Dame in 2016. That's my man, Mr. Johnathan Jones. Johnathan, what's going on?
Man, what's good, people? What's going on, Coach Lowe? Thanks for the
Yeah,
intro.
man. Yeah, that's right, man. I'm glad you're able to come on the show. Listen, I said something right out the gate. Let's get right into it. I said, had an offer from Michigan, LSU, Florida Gators, chose Notre Dame 2016 from Oak Ridge High School. Let's jump right into that conversation right there, right? Because everyone felt they got to go to certain school in order to be the best, to get all the accolades the case might be. Yeah, this was 2016. Yes, this was 10 years ago. But still, though,
Right.
you're good. You can make it happen. You that guy, right? They're gonna find you. No if and buts about it. We know that. Tell me why you stayed at Oak Ridge. What was the mindset at Oak Ridge, and what was the who guided you back then?
Yeah. So for me, it's always been the full picture. Definitely athletics. You want to go somewhere where there's a good program, but the academics behind it too. So initially, I was at Wekiva High School, and then I want to say 2013 or so, after my freshman, going into the spring, there was a magnet fair at Oak Ridge, and I went there. It was a new campus, and it was really nice. And I just felt a calling to go to that school. We go into the magnet fair, and originally we went there for my brother, and they had just created the junior achievement magnet for Oak Ridge. And I get there, and a lady by the name of Kathy King and Mr. Martucci grabbed me up, and they was like, "Listen, man, this is a great program. We think it would be good for you overall. Not only in football but just life after football." And that's what I always had in my mindset. The game eventually is going to stop, and I want to make sure that I have all the tools to continue my life and continue to be on a championship level. So that's what really went into me going to Oak Ridge and then staying there.
Well, you went to Oak Ridge, stayed at Oak Ridge. Everyone was after you. I remember clearly. Everybody was after you. How can we get him out of there? He need to leave. He need to go somewhere else. There's a lot of people in your ears. A lot of people was talking. Get leave.
Yeah.
Just go. Come here. Come to school. I mean, and you told me why, but how did you put that noise behind you? Or was there someone in your ear saying, "This our plan. This what we're doing. This our path.
Mhm.
We're gonna follow our journey." How you keep that noise away from you?
Man, it's crazy. Oak Ridge, ah, love Oak Ridge, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it was back in the day still a huge program. I probably had a total of 4 head coaches while I was there. But Travis Gabriel. He's now the head coach of Olympia. At the time he was there, he's like an uncle to me. I had to bus from Ocoee all the way to Oak Ridge, and then after practice, he would take me home. He would go out of his way and take me home, and those times we would really have good conversation about just manhood, my goals, and just be able to talk ball. So that honestly, helped me stay at Oak Ridge. And then also, I was new to the game. I didn't start playing football till ninth grade. So, once I got somewhere, it was just sort of like, okay, I'm just gonna lock in here. I don't have time to be moving around, shaking around, and being in this program and trying to build new relationship here. You know what? I'm gonna lock in here. I'm gonna be at Oak Ridge. We had back in my day, we had some dogs on the squad. We had some real players that were committed to the game and that challenged me. So that was one of the reasons why I stayed there.
Who was on that team with you? Because you had some players I remember. Because y'all had a
Mhm.
pretty good season at that time. We were playing some ball now. I remember that clearly. Who were some of
Yeah,
the top players on that team with you?
man, we had Naquan Murray,
Yeah,
Noonan.
Naquan. That's right.
He was on that
With the Florida
squad.
State. Yeah, with the Florida
Uh,
State.
D'Angelo, I forget his full name, but he ended up
D'Angelo went to
going to
Rhode
US.
Island. He went to Rhode
Yeah,
Island. That's my boy. I know exactly who you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep.
Went to Rhode Island, and then he transferred, ended up going to USF as a grad transfer, and
Correct.
had
Yep.
some solid years. Um, the other guy, man, who we had, Sycobe, Tyreek
Zach Kobe.
Tisdale.
Zach Kobe, Tyrone
Um,
Tisdale went to Maryland with FAU, one of our guy that
mhm,
trained with the factory. So there are some guys
yes,
on
sir.
that team that stayed. And that year, it was a pretty good year. So that's what I'm trying to explain to people. Like they if you just put enough of them on one team and one program, you easily can find a way to win and play and get coaches to come pay attention to you. Because that's some great talent. You just named Florida State, Notre Dame, Maryland, Rhode Island, and FAU all in one conversation.
You also got to remember that around that time, Coach Elijah Williams was at Oak Ridge before he went to Jones.
That's right,
So
exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
he you know, we know what he doing over there. He had that same program. He had that same grit and leadership, at Oak Ridge at the time. Also, Balin Trulio was there as well. So, um, we had some good leadership when I was there, and we had some good players too. And you know, the at Oak Ridge, we didn't have it all in terms of equipment, or even, community support. But I learned there to be able to make do with what you have. And to this day, that still sticks with me, and it still allows me to conquer certain obstacles that I have. It's like, okay, we may not have this, that, and the third, but whatever we do have, we got this field to go out there and put some work on, and that's what we're gonna utilize. Utilizing your resources was a huge lesson I learned being at Oak Ridge.
Well, I tell you one thing, that they'll also prepare you to go to a whole nother level because now you're on a team with some player. You had to be that guy. You're middle linebacker. You could have played free safety. You're moving around all over the court, over the field, and you all of a sudden school start coming. Florida Gator, LSU, everybody want this guy, and Notre Dame won. They the one that won it. Now I just want to make sure people understand. Yeah, the NIL have came into the game and changed the game. Yeah, we know the transfer portal. When all said and done, it still comes down to getting a college degree. Because I don't care what you do, if you get $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, it don't last forever. I don't care. No one says. I mean, you guys getting $4 million, take out 38% of that, pay their doggone agent, take care of their mama, pay all their bills, spend money on this and that. And that thing, no, guess what? That money ain't there. That money
Yeah,
gone. You're 18,
yeah,
19 years old. So by the time you're 30, 40, 50 years old, it's a whole nother different story. I've been on my company right now for 22 years, making good money. But guess what? What I made in gross back in 2024, I can't multiply, 2004, I can't multiply that by 22 so I still have that gross amount. No, because you got to
right,
live, right? So you got to continue going. But guess what? College and NFL is not 22 years. That's
nah,
not 22 years right there.
yeah,
So now,
yeah. Yeah, nah. It's you got to be a special player. You definitely got to be a guy who's different. Tom Brady or something like that. Which I believe Orlando has. Plenty of them. But what you're saying is, Coach Lowe, you got to make sure that all bases are covered, man. In terms of NIL money, in terms of league money, man, it's no secret. Once you retire, most cats, who've done stints in NFL, statistically, they end up broke by the end of their career, um, due to not understanding how to manage money, taxes, and just lifestyle. That money can go by fast. Um, what other things have you accumulated to make sure that, okay, I can fend myself other than money? And a degree is one of those. And Notre Dame essentially promised me that. When I was there, it was a 98, 99% graduation rate. Plus the prowess of one of the highest degrees you can get out of a school. So adding it all together, plus good football, you're gonna learn how to play football there as well. For me, it prompted the decision that, okay, this is the best place to go. I break my leg, something happens, okay, I can rely on something else to support me in my next step in life.
well, I tell you this right here. I go back into my Ian Williams played for Notre Dame. You go to Max Starks, no guy played for Notre Dame, right? You had my son Lowood Jr. played at Notre Dame. Dexter Williams played at Notre Dame. Lewis Nickman Jasper played at Notre Dame. But like, there's only so many can actually say that they had a chance to play at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Go to that history at Notre Dame, to walk on that campus and be treated fairly and right when all said and done. How the people greet you. I was doing autograph. I didn't even play. I was the daddy. I had a shirt on that said Lowood Daddy. They had me for my autographs. I'm like, you want my autograph?
Yeah.
I felt special. because I didn't have that chance. I didn't make it through my first year. Went to school up in northeast Oklahoma A&M. Had a messed up my right femur. Came home,
Mm,
did whatever, started coaching. I'm like, I didn't have that chance to play in the Notre Dame stadium and do the thing or big stadium like that. But to go there and do autographs as a father, that speaks volume. That's why when you go
mm,
places like that, you fall in love with it. I mean, everybody got their ups and downs, but when you go there, you know you're going to get a 40-year degree. When I walked in there, the man say, "You're going to be in the school of Mendoza." That man didn't say,
mm,
"Oh, you're gonna be in the school of sociology." You made that choice. You made the choice you want to go into business school. You automatically get in. You made that choice you want to go in arts and TV and film and production. So when Lowe came out with a degree in TV and film, and I was like, wow, that's amazing because everyone else saw the other school, they were coming out with sociology, you know what I mean, and they PE teachers and all said and done. So not really
right.
saying nothing wrong with it, but you got to think about the long run. And you made that choice when you went to Notre Dame. And not only did you go there trying to have a future after football, you had an opportunity to get some action. 2016, right there, you went there. 2017, you played in 13 games. You on special team, recorded 10 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, had an opportunity to get on that field, to come out that tunnel and get in there. How did you feel come out that tunnel, knowing that, wow, I know I'm getting a good degree, but I'm actually playing right here in this stadium when they had the grass and the wood benches. How you feel?
Mm. Man, at the time I was so young and still new to the game. Remember I really didn't start playing football till ninth grade. I was a basketball player. Um, it didn't really hit me until you start looking around and you seeing they got the best at everything here at this university, and you're looking around and you're seeing who they have in the stands and how you're hearing about the history of the game, and you're getting you're immersed into what's going on. You realize that every game the bookstore is making $1 million. you know
Every
so
game.
what was that?
I said every game they make $1 million. Now I'm gonna
Every
stop you at
game.
that bookstore. I still got listen. Still got my jogger set that I purchased back in 2010.
Yeah.
I still wear that same jogger set when I go out. Just kind of feel so honored and proud to be able to wear that set. That thing cost me almost 200 and something dollars. And I'm like, what the
Mhm.
world? I don't know what I was thinking, but it's true though. You represent the brand. Now, can you imagine the brand back then if we knew what it's going to be like today representing that brand? Now I do understand why they want to do the name, image, and likeness because it's true. For those that do not know, Notre Dame Book Club make $1 million easy on
Yeah.
game day in one day. People come out there. I'm sitting in a line here 500, 600, 700, 800. They be the same people.
Yeah.
They bring out that new gear. And they were so smart by it. They'll put the athletes in the new gear. Let them walk through the tunnel, do the Notre Dame walk. You see the new
Mhm.
sweatsuit, you see the new shirt, you see the new suit, you see all the new gear, and then they go to everybody run to the store to buy the gear. It's not in there. Then all of a
Right.
sudden, a month later, the gear's in the store. Sell out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
brilliant what they did. So that was just
Yeah.
awesome. Now,
No, you realize Notre Dame moves on a different, they move on a championship standard. And I think that was the biggest thing that I fell in love with, doing things on a high level. And it was tough. I'm not going to sit here and act like my career at Notre Dame was spectacular. I struggled at Notre Dame coming from a program such as Oak Ridge, right? And then shooting up to the most premier program, top five every year, was a jump that I didn't have the wherewithal to be prepared for. And my story honestly is crazy, man. My rookie year, then red shirted, got practice team player of the year for the squad. Was excited, was like, okay, maybe I can start making some gains towards, actually playing. Sophomore year, definitely a huge special teams player, but still getting used to the speed of the game. Didn't understand the playbook for nothing. Couldn't understand defense for anything. Really had to get over that gap. Junior year, it's starting to click a little bit. but it's still slow for me. And then my senior year, guys, um, it was starting to catch on. I was starting to understand the game. I was starting to see where I can fit in the defense. I was starting to, get the basics of tackling and shutting blocks and coverage. I was starting to understand it, but in this game, they're looking for guys who can play right now,
And I
especially at
seen
Notre
that.
Dame,
And you
especially
see,
in this era.
and you see your progression too. I seen it too, right? I came to the game, watched one of the games that you played, and I watched it on TV, and I watched them like. And man, you talked about that when you came to train. About coming down
Mhm.
here quick and faster, reading the line quick and faster, and stand in the film room. That is
Yes,
the
sir.
biggest thing you can do is about that film room. It's so fun. I tell everybody. I remember in 1 year between you and Tyrell Lewis, I'm sorry, and
Yeah,
Daryl Monroe and Nicholas Riley Nicholson, all them guys playing, and every last one were going through the same thing. High school didn't really prepare them for the game so early, so it was tough, especially as a linebacker. Now, one guy did prepare very fast, and that was Darryl Monroe. He was smart, and he had Coach Rodney Wells. And Darryl
right.
Monroe stepped in Washington State, right situation. It wasn't that great, and played as a freshman. No easy, no if and buts about it. It was tough to play as a freshman back then. They weren't giving no
Mhm.
money. Well, you had to just go get it done. So you
Right.
came in, had to realize more of your talent on the special team. Special team, senior year, last year, here it is, 13 games right there, in total all year, 38 games you played. But just think about it. You could have easily said, I'm out the first year. I'm out the second year. I'm going to jump up and run. I'm going to another school. I know I can play at FAU. I know I can play at FIU. I can go to them. That's nothing right there. You
Yeah.
chose to stay for the 4 years at Notre Dame and graduate with a college degree. Your hopes of NFL almost was done. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to NFL playing 13 games, special on special team, and getting a couple of 16 tackles. You're not going to NFL for Notre Dame. But that
Yeah.
red shirt, that opportunity that you had to have that extra year propel you. So why didn't you just pack up and leave and go somewhere else, knowing that your opportunity at Notre Dame to go to NFL really was slim, but none. When all said and done, let's just keep it real.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I you got to think bigger picture. Also, my goals were always to get a degree. When I first started playing football, I wanted to go play football to go to college. It differs. Again, it depends on your goal. If your goal is the NFL, you definitely want to get a degree, but you also want to be smart about it. Okay, where am I actually going to go to really play? Where are they making guarantees where it's like, nah, you're going to come here and we have a plan for you, and you're going to go to and you're going to play. For me, my main goal was to make sure I got that degree and make sure that I had a platform to really excel. And Notre Dame offered that. At the end of the day, Notre Dame is, it was the premier school. We were doing things on a very high level and on a championship level. So I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to see that journey all the way through. Knowing that I had a red shirt as well, it was like, okay, let me see what I can get out of this situation. Let me see how I can, put my best foot forward. And then when I graduate, okay, I have a wealth of knowledge and I have a wealth of experience and things that I've learned on this high level that I should be able to bring into the next step and next school that I go to.
Well, as you know, that's what most athletes do not think about. They're thinking the
Right.
total opposite. Nowadays, they want the instant gratification. I want to get it done right now. I want to get the money right now. I want to support my family right now. A lot of them have that. They're going through so much. They're stressed and confused, right? So
Mhm.
that student athlete is definitely an athlete student. We know that. We're not going to change the game with that at all. I just want
Right.
everyone that's coming up every week watching the film room get the real deal. How it really go, what's the real process? Because you're still in this thing. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm talking to you and last time you played football 8 years ago. You
Right.
play football, you still playing football, all said and done. Because when you graduated a degree from Notre Dame in 2019 and went into the portal, you had the opportunity to go to any other school you want to. But you chose to go to University of Toledo for your final year. And here it is. Here's what's crazy now. 4 years Notre Dame, 38 games, right? Go to Toledo, did your thing. You played in 19 games over the 2 seed that you had left. Flourish easily, recording 116 total tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. You did more
Hmm.
in them 2 seasons than you did in 4 years at Notre Dame. So you kind of got the best of both worlds. I go to Notre
Yeah.
Dame, get the experience. I get a college degree from Notre Dame. I'm alumni at Notre Dame. I go to Toledo. I'm knocking him in the head with 116 tackles. Now I get a chance to get invited to go to Kansas City Chief minicamp. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. So, that opportunity to go to Toledo comes from not giving up. It comes from continuously to show up, even though I wasn't being given the opportunity or chances to really excel. For me at Notre Dame, I'm still after practice, I'm still working my craft. I'm still showing up on time. I'm still being respectful. I'm still doing the right things. So I graduate and I hit the portal. And the first guy that hits my phone is Coach Larry Black. He was the assistant D line coach at Notre Dame, and he had just recently, the year before, got the defensive line coach at Toledo. And as soon as I hit the portal, he was like, "Listen, man, like I know what type of player you are. I know what type of guy you are. I was there for how things shook out at Notre Dame. This is a good. We want you here. This is a good opportunity. We need linebackers. You definitely have a scholarship here." Um, and again, it's just a testament to always having good character and always realizing that, hey, these things, it may not be working for you now, but there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. It's just not your time yet. You're not ready. It might be somebody else's time to shine, but when you get your chance to shine, it's gonna be on top of it. And as you said, I got the Toledo Excel. Um, had my pro days, got some work in with Coach Lowe, definitely prepared me for that next step. And, excelled at my pro days. I had one at Notre Dame, had one at Toledo, and was able to get 2 rookie mini camps with the Chiefs and 49ers. It went good. I can't lie. I thought I excelled pretty well. Um, I think two things still, that learning gap of football intelligence. Um, if you don't have that as a young child, or if you're not constantly looking for that, or if someone isn't instilling that into you, you're going to miss out on an opportunity. And then two, the fact that I played football as in ninth grade, I just still wasn't completely developed in the game and being able to compete on the highest level. So didn't necessarily work out there, but I was, from Notre Dame to not playing at all to Toledo to those two opportunities, I'm grateful, and it was a testament.
I hope everybody heard what you just said right there. Young age, knowing the game, learning the game, being developed.
Develop.
I mean, you now when we talk about high school, we're talking about youth football, moving into high school to prepare you for college. So the game have changed now, and
Like no other.
I might rub some people wrong. There are some top teams, top talent, all on one team, but they never come to practice. 12 come, 13 come. They practice one day, might practice 2 days. They got to do a half a line. They can't do a full practice most of the time. So how do they develop? I mean, they're flying in on airplanes. They come to practice. They're playing the game. Meet me at the game. 10 come to practice, 30 at the game. They play the game, they win, they lose. Okay. But where does the development came at?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, then now that same kid come to one of our camps, line up, and he don't even know how to run lines. He don't even know how to do coverages out the backfield. Ain't nobody help you now. He don't know no
Right.
skills, no drills. So all that changed because it wasn't developed in their youth. Why? Because let me get the best players. Let me get the best players everywhere, put them together and go play a game. That's cool.
Hmm.
but are we really? If that parent not taking their kid to train to get better, they set them up. I call that set them up for failure. But now when you get to high school, you're not prepared. I never forget when I coached Okor Pop Warner and I coached Pine Hill Troy all the years. Every time the kid left us and went to high school, every parent come back and say he was prepared because we ran the
Mhm.
practice like a high school. We ran periods. We did everything in the system. Everything's on the whistle. We did offense, defense, special team every single day. We run O line, D line, position drills, 101, 707, condition. Everything was like a real high school practice, really
Yep.
disciplined and structured. And that's what helped. Whether you win the whole thing or not, they develop. And just by running that way, you're gonna be you have a winning season. Now, everyone
Absolutely.
can do it like that and don't win the whole national championship. But I mean, Alabama won a lot of them, they lost a lot of them, or they didn't make it sometime. But they ran a
Mhm.
full system. So that's just life. It's hard to be a national champion over and over and over. It's hard. Only a few can do that. But when all said and done, development was so huge. Did they really know what they watched when they watched film? I never forget one time I didn't make it to a game. I had to go out of town and watch my son Lowe play. I think they were playing against Michigan, against his her boy Jeremy Gallon from a park. I went to watch that game,
Uh-huh.
and I left the team to the coaches, and we lost. I came back and said, "How y'all lose against this team? This team was terrible." So I'm watching film. We got everybody watching film, and I'm asking even the coaches. I'm asking everybody, "Do y'all not see the guard, tackle, tight end, wingback, running back over here, and y'all only got
Mhm.
three guys over here? Did y'all not recognize that for 4 quarters?"
Yeah.
So evidently we didn't develop, we didn't pay attention to the game. See, that's the difference now. No one is paying attention to the game. They're not watching film, right? They're not getting a thick piece of paper with all the plays on it. I gotta know what they're gonna run on first down, second down, third down, everything. I learned that
Mhm.
being a student to the game. Coaches gotta be the student to the game. That's why when they get ready to go, the kids go to high school, they struggle. And when they struggle, they want to transfer to go other places. You stay right there and got the best you can get. Who knows if you left Oak Ridge, went over to Dr. Filler, who was a dining force, or went over to a Parker, who was just a big force, and they might have put you at D line because you couldn't run with them guys because they knew what they doing over there. They had a system. Who knows? I don't know.
Mhm.
But all said
Mhm.
and done, you said the biggest thing. You knew the game. You learned the game. It took your time. You went to Toledo, made a big impact. Went to Kansas City, couple of minute camp, and kids know better than that. Now the next step is how can I make my other dream come true? I had a dream to be a college graduate. Mom and dad is real happy. I know the game of football now. I had a chance to line up in Kansas City Chief. Now my path is I'm fine. Right now they say, you know what, Johnson Jones, you're done.
Mhm.
Hey, I did my journey was good, but you had a
Right.
chance to continue to play, and you went up to another league. Let's talk about that league you played in and your success in that league, because there's more than one NFL. Let's talk about it,
Mhm.
Johnson.
Yeah. So after my rookie mini camps, my agent had already let me know, hey, Toronto Argonauts out of the Canadian Football League has your rights as a player, and if this doesn't work out, you can explore that route. And I can't lie. I don't know. I didn't know much about the Canadian Football League. I knew enough to know that it was decent football. That they were a professional league. But for me, it was like, okay, hey, I'm still young. I do have this wealth of football experience, and I want to keep playing. And it's in Toronto at that. It's like, hey, Toronto. I get to go over there. Yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity. And man, how do I say this? It's something about that delayed um what was it? Delayed gratitude, right? When things all come together. When I first went to Notre Dame, I was ready for it to be me. I had high expectations. I wanted to be top of the team. I wanted to be. I used to tell everybody, man, I want to win Heisman. That I always shot for the for the biggest goal. I want to be that player, and it didn't happen for me. But I went to the CFL, right? My rookie year, start in the championship game, the Grey Cup, and win. You know,
Sir.
turn around the next year, we go 18-0. Could have won it that year, and then in 2024 win another. So now I have two Grey Cup rings, underneath my belt, and it it's like it was exactly what I wanted. Experiencing that, it was exactly what I wanted out of my football career. Other than um, the academic things, to hear the crowd chant your name on a professional level is like no other. So went the CFL route, excelled, and yeah, happy I did it. Happy I did it for sure.
Well, I mean, there it is right there. So you see the ultimate goal, all said and done. Student athlete, right? The journey. NFL's a dream, the college degree is reality. But you had both of them. It wasn't NFL, CFL. It's all said and done, a professional sport. So you're a professional.
Mhm.
When all said and done, you're a professional. You're
Yep.
able to accomplish what kids from Oak Ridge would never thought they'd be able to accomplish, come down to football or just from the Central Florida itself. And a lot of people don't even know, like, who is this guy? There's guys just like you that all over that's accomplished so many great things. But the parents now have to understand that it's not easy. You see the path, you see the journey now. Even, think about it. They thought when you come on this show that, oh, this amount who played the game 3, 4, 5 years ago. No, 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 no. You just won the Grey Cup twice. I mean, you played
Mhm.
in the championship game. That's huge. That's
Yep.
huge. So they need to listen and take heed of what we're talking about. When all said and done, this game is not easy. It's a tough game. But now, what's after football? See,
Right.
here's what the parents don't talk about. What if? What's next? What's after?
Mhm.
What we're gonna do now? What's the plan? Hmm. That them the
Yep.
question. That's a
Yep.
lot. Them the question that they're not asking. Why? Because they
Mhm.
focus on what's going on now. What's going on with Jonathan Jones now? What we're doing now? What's the plan? What we're doing? What we're giving back? What's the path? What's the new journey?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm so excited for the next stage. I did finish up this past year in the CFL, and it went well, but decided to retire. From football. I had a passion for the game, but it was something else that was calling me. To start building and start going forward. So decided to build my own company, the Playbook Manual. It's a football IQ development company. We create services, products, and eventually equipment that helps build the athlete to get them to the next level. So that's everywhere from elementary to middle school, from middle school to high school to college, and then college to the pros. Making sure that they understand the things they need to understand to really excel. And yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I'm always a guy for the community. I love Orlando. I do it for the 407. Always will and always have. So, I've been to. I was just. I was done with the season in November, and I don't know what. I've probably been to two camps now. Probably attended, 3 or 4 training sessions. Just for the love, just because I want to be a helping hand, and immerse myself back into the community and give back. So that's what I got going on, and I'm really excited. I think it's what not only what the city needs, but I think what football needs in general. A company that really is a consultant to the athlete to make sure, and the families, to make sure they understand, what is going on, and what they need to be doing to really excel and get to the. And when I say next level, I'm talking highest level. I'm talking NFL. Yes, I played in the CFL and that was great, and the UFL is amazing too. It's professional leagues, indoor football league. Like, if you can go pro, you did it. But NFL, that's where you want to be. And with my company, that is what we will be providing the service for and products for to help you get there.
Well, I mean, and that's what we need. But someone that recently and fresh out of the game, and not someone that been sitting around for 15 years and didn't play the game or is in the game, haven't played it forever. Not all of a sudden they want to become this big guru. We talk about that a lot on the show. Guys just want to just chase the image instead of doing what's authentic when they want to help youth athletes. And so if I want to talk to somebody, I want to talk to somebody that has that degree, somebody that played on the highest level, somebody that played as a professional, someone that knows what they're talking about, who still have relationship and networking, someone that can call a coach from Toledo, call all the coach from Notre Dame that's at different schools to help kids out or what the case might be. That's the
Mm-hmm.
network. And this is why I tell people about our company at the Excel Speed, the factory. You know, these
Yep.
trainers are fresh out of college.
Yep.
That's where you want to be at, who have the connection. You know, they can call their automata, they can call their coaches that was at this Campbell, and now he's at North Carolina. He was at Rhode Island, now he at West Virginia. He at West Virginia, now he's at Kentucky. That's the connection. That's a connection that we need to have and make sure these parents are with the right network, with the right group, and in the right circle. That is the
Yep.
key, right? Instead of chasing the things that make no sense. No, we already know that the image is out there for everybody to go get the money, the money ball. But everyone's not going to get the money. And money's a root, and we already know. But if you do it right, the money shall come. I tell people all the
Right.
time, the reason I am where I am today, because I do it with passion. The passion is going to bring the money. Do right by the kids, do right, and have the passion for it. It's going to come. It's too easy. You get to the point where I'm turning down camps and turning down events. There's too much. I can't do
Mm-hmm.
it all. I think I slowed
Right.
down the other day. You know what I mean? So because I'm moving so much, moving so fast, let me slow this thing down a little bit. So you right now is coming out, get back to the community, the opportunity for parents to understand what's going on. I mean, Jonathan Jones, right there, Oak Ridge, University of Notre Dame, University of Toledo, opportunity to play in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs, ready in the CFL, the UFL. Now we're back home doing it right now, man. It gets no better than that. So if
Yeah.
you had to tell a parent right now that want to go through the path, what would you tell that parent right now for to get them some advice for their son?
Yeah. Right now, I would tell them, really immerse them in the game. Get them around again, like you were saying, get them around in that football community. Um, Start to, and you also spoke on passions, right? Doing things passionate, but really figuring out what is your child passionate about. What does he really like to do? What does he really excel at? And really diving into those strengths is what that was really the biggest, one of the biggest things I could tell them right now. Understanding that, hey, is the game has changed, and the price of admission to go to the next level is high, but it is so well worth the price is so well worth investing into your child to get them to the next level. Um, and I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's on the kid, though. I will say that. How bad does he want it? How hungry is he? I remember when I was playing, man, like my passion for the game and how hungry I wanted it. My parents told me well before high school, hey, man, you want to go to school? You're gonna have to figure that out. We'll help you. We'll be there to support you. But and once I realized football was the route, it was never not going to practice, or not hitting the weight room, or not trying to figure out ways to get better. I was always after practice working my craft. But yeah, figure out the passions of your child, and then yes, get in the right circles in terms of football. And I think you should be on the right path to success.
Well, that's what it is, and that's why we come on the film room. You never know what you're gonna get or who we're gonna put in front of you. Our special guest, man, we have some great guests every single week. I know me and Tremaine Wright, Mr. Wright Choice on Sports Club Florida. We always try to find the right person to come in, the person that want to make sure that they deliver something powerful and impactful, right? Having to keep their eyes on the prize, right? Like I said, get your eyes checked. Get your eyes checked, man, because when your eyes are checked, it's like your eyes like a lamp, right? You can see it,
Yeah.
right? The lamp can see, and you can see what you're doing mentally, physically, vocally, and taking care of the body. Anything is possible. And that's why we like doing what we do on Sports Club Florida every Monday. And bringing you on the show was an honor. Being a Notre Dame dad, I know you see in the background all the Notre Dame jerseys back here.
Yeah.
Got them. I got the that's a Notre Dame Champ Bowl. That's your Hyundai Bowl. That's your
Uh-huh.
BCS National Championship 2012. That's the Pinstripe Bowl up here, right? You got the Notre Dame emblem, college, all that. It speaks volume, and sometimes they're being proud. I wish parents could just be proud of that type of stuff. My son Lo, he didn't make NFL, but to sit there and say, man, he played in all these games and he graduated and got a degree on for free. That's priceless. Everyone's not going to make the NFL. But the ones that do, man, much love to you. The ones that do not, come out with something. What is
Yeah.
the end game? What is the end game? I talked to my boy Dorian Jones same time about the end game. What's the end game? When you get done with your college and you coming home, what's the end game? What's your plan? What are you going to do? Right? Somebody said, well, why we going to do nothing with our degree? Why you get a degree in one thing, but you come on and do something different? Well, NFL, I mean, college football and college sport make you do that. You go to school for
Mhm.
one thing because you have to take something that you really don't want, but you have to do it. You got to have that degree. But but sometimes that still is a benefit because you have it. You can put in
Yeah.
that resume that I have one. If there are two people trying to get the job, one went to Notre Dame and one went to Florida Gators, and I sat down in front of them, right? Both of them have a degree in sociology. Both of them from the same place. Hey, one went to NFL, one didn't. But at the same time, that degree means a lot.
Yeah.
And they need to make sure they're making the right choice what school they're going to. Not knocking school. I'm just saying, make sure they make the right choice. But we picking school based on the NFL or that kind of stuff instead of picking the schools based on our career and our life. And I'm
Yeah.
glad you made that choice. I mean, to be part of one of the largest alumni base in the world, all over the country, from Japan to China, from China to California. That's a Notre Dame alumni club somewhere. And then you always need some help. Trust me, I know. So, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Man, I can't wait. We got big things coming. We got camps coming up. You got your company
Mhm.
that you're doing that you're going to impact and helping parents and helping the guys that are going to college or coming out of college, another space. There's plenty of space for us, plenty of kids. The question is,
Right.
who's going to be in your circle? Who got your back? Who's in your corner? And I know right now, if anybody gonna get it done, it'll be you. Come from a Christian household, a Christian background, mom and dad. I mean, it gets no bigger, it gets no better than that right there. So, man, I appreciate you coming on. I can't wait to see what we got next going on. Get ready to rock and roll. We got a lot of big things coming on. So appreciate, man. Have a great day, man. Go Irish.
Hey, go Irish. And I just want to show y'all, man, this championship ring right here, man. I bring it home for the city. 2024
There it
Great
is.
Coach Champ right there.
There it is, boy. That's a
You
real
won,
one.
baby.
A real one.
Real one.
A
Yeah.
real one. And not
Yeah.
it was not the $25 one. A real one.
Oh, nah. This is a real one. We got the baguettes and everything. It's diamond tested, all that.
That's what's up, man. All right, man.
Yeah.
Thank you again, man. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
No doubt. Y'all heard it
Peace.
right there, man. It's the right choice. And man, we always come in and try to bring it to a live band. I see you allow me to go hand in hand, toe to touch. I'm in the boxing ring with man Johnathan Jones. I mean, and not Roy Jones now, Johnathan Jones. Now, I can't go in the room with Roy Jones.
Hey,
I mean,
so
I like that.
Dorian couldn't get on. You got to tell them they in a car driving at nighttime. They ain't got no light. He- I told him that I told him next week. But before we sign off, I just want to say one thing. He is correct. I like that he talked about he didn't really learn football till ninth grade, and this me seeing youth kids. You can really tell the kids that's training and the ones that have not trained. There's a big difference. Now, does it mean that they're not going to be good? No, I'm not saying that. But I can say at the beginning stages, you can tell a big difference. That I'm just saying that put your kid in situations or find a trainer so they can get better or work on a craft that they probably may be good in. Not knocking no youth. There's not a lot of youth people, coaches in a setting to look at every single player to help every single one. Just being realistic. Be mad if you want to be mad at me. Just be realistic to yourself. But at the end of the day, if you know you can't do it, just tell the parents whatnot. We're in a team setting, but here's some good trainers to, if he has time, take him to do this train on the weekend or whatever, to work on particular craft and whatever craft he's in. Especially a D line or O line, you don't really see, especially linebacker. Linebacker is the hardest position. You don't really see too many linebacker coaches even in the city. There's only I don't even know even if a handful. Is there a handful of linebacker coaches?
3, Mike Jones, Elite Linebacker Society, Dal Monroe, Big Play Factory, and then you have Demetri Artist, Hit Stick. Them the 3 I know that's linebacker, do real good, solid linebacker training.
So let me go to defensive end. How many DN line? How many DN coaches are they?
I mean, Aaron Jones does a great job with interior and out. Corey Vereen, do a good job in and out. But I, I think
My
I think that's
And so when I go look at high school, you know the ones I pay attention to most? Linebackers, and I pay attention to defensive end. And you see raw talent, but you see not great discipline or technique. They're just basically just talented and making plays or doing certain things. But if they have somebody really training them or the real technique, they'll be really, really good. You see that every single high school because you don't really
yep.
see I would say top level linebackers or DN or D line. I'll say DN coaches or edge rushers. You know, everything's big on edge linebackers. You don't really see that. They're the money guys, so they probably doing something different. You don't really see them coming in coaching. That's what, from my knowledge, what I've been looking at football games. I don't really see linebacker, no dog linebackers. Probably in the day when you saw Darren Monroe and all them. I haven't seen this. I've been here the last 5 years. Like I've seen a couple. Like I know Evans had one. The kid that be flying around at Edgewater. But McKenda, I know they switch around a lot of different positions.
They don't change. It's the linebacker. I mean, with the scheme and the system, I think I watched a game last year, and 2 of the linebackers probably 220 pounds combined together. So I mean, straight up, I seen that one the game we went to. Like, who was that little boy playing linebacker? You know what I mean? So the game don't change. All said and done, you're right. It's tough. Linebacker, running back is kind of being obsolete, and it's because a lot of them don't want it because why, they don't get the ball enough. 2, they got to be good enough to draw back in coverage and go out there and play man to man or play strong safety. They got defensive end running 4-4 now. So the game don't change now. So a lot of them want to hit. They're not aggressive. The COVID had an excuse to be lazy. The concussion made them want to hit no more. They don't hit in practice no more. Oh, he might get hurt. I mean, hey, and I understand the high school coach because it's so separated, so spread it out. I mean, it used to be 120 kids on a team in high school. Now there's 60, 70 players. So you got to be careful and have them JV and freshmen. You can't let them get hit and get hurt. I understand the game. So
The, the
you
depth of
setting them up.
the depth of talent is tough too now in Central Florida.
Yeah, of
The,
course. Of course.
because everybody's transferring here, going here. So
Mhm.
you don't even have a next man up in high school. We don't really talk about that, but you don't have a next man up in high school.
Nope. Nope.
So that's another issue. It's whole stuff. But at the end of the day, you said it early, hitting the head before we transition, and we talked about it before. It starts in the youth. It starts in middle school, starting youth. Get your kids properly trained. It doesn't cost a lot of money, you guys. Y'all think it costs like millions or hundreds of dollars? Not really. Some people do charge a lot of money. Let me don't get it twisted. Some people do charge a lot of money, but not everybody charge a lot of money. So if you can't afford it, it's cool. Go out there for 1 month or 2 months. Learn what you can and try to do it at home. And then come back again when you get some extra money that month. See
But,
what,
but, let-
what you
but let me say this though. It's not the money. It's not the money. Some of the kids just don't want it. Parents and kids expectations just different. I'm sorry. Real McCoy, Adam Schuler had a camp Sunday. 8th graders, $35. If you knew somebody, you got a scholarship. How many kids should have been there? I'm gonna say it one more time. Real McCoy and Adam Schuler had a camp. And all the top coaches from everywhere was out there. NFL players, it was just a networking machine. Writers everywhere, you see it. It was $35 or a scholarship for free. How many 8th graders was there? Once again, I'm just saying 8th grade. I'm not even talking about the high school, because I know high school be a little difficult. They won't get hurt, got spring football. On a Sunday, not a Saturday. a camp for 4 hours, 35 divided by 4, or just free. If you on this line and you see this feed and you went there with your son, y'all don't have the same expectation. Get a second job because you're gonna need it when you got to pay for D2. You heard it right here from Coach Lowe.
Well, I ended with that with the D2 thing. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Hope you tuned in with Mr. Johnathan Jones on his journey from Oak Ridge to Notre Dame to Toledo to CFL to win 2 Grey Cups. I can't get no better than that. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.